Greetings, art students. We are moving on to painting level D. This is where we're going to really refine our work with watercolor. So let's get started. Okay, first off, just a reminder that as always, there is an example handout to show you what to do at this center. We're of course going to have our play stage, and then we are going to make a little mini piece of art. We also want to pay close attention to our skills document. So if I go all the way over there to level D, that's, oh, Miss Russ's paper fell down. That's all the way over here. It says I can make secondary colors without help. I can wait for paint to dry so that the colors don't bleed. I can wait to add details once the paint is dry. I can use crayon to resist the paint. And I can create textures and patterns. Okay, so let's dive down and take a look. So as always, I'm on an experimentation page. I've written my name. I've circled, so name is here. I have circled that I'm going to the painting center. As always, I'm going to use those skills that I've learned before, which means I know that I'm going to draw before I paint. So I'm going to draw some stuff for me to paint here to practice. And then I'm also going to go ahead and draw out in this space here what it is I want to make for my mini art. And remember, that doesn't have to be very big. This can be big enough. Look at how the example is right here. Okay, it talked about mixing secondary colors without help. So I am remembering that to make all my secondary colors, that's what I'm going to have to make. So my secondary colors are orange, and then I also need to make green, and then I also need to make purple. And so I'm remembering that I work in small batches of color to make what I'm looking for so that I have control. I'm adding small batches of color. And then once I have what I'm looking for, which this doesn't look very orange. Hopefully it turns out orange. Oh, it is. I'm going to remember all of those skills that I learned before. Okay. The other thing that I can start to play with is that my brushes don't have to go this direction, but I can twist them to make smaller lines. So give yourself time to experiment with that brush control and holding your hand on the metal. Then it talks about crayon resist. So you're going to get out some crayons and you're going to go in and add some textures or details. You can even do any outlining. You'll notice that I first am doing the crayon, and then I'm going to come in with my watercolor and watch that. Waha! It pulls off of the crayon. Even if I do a darker color, let's go in with some blue and a smaller paintbrush here, and you'll notice that it pulls off of that crayon. It resists over time. It like spreads off of the crayon. You can get some really fun results if you work with the white crayon, because it of course is going to leave the white of, oh, Miss Russ needs more paint. The white of the paper. Now it does take a little time. Let me hold that up so you can see. Oh, it's too shiny for you to see. Oh no! It does take a little time for the crayon to resist. And if you look here, you can see how when it dries, that crayon shows up. Okay, once I have felt like I have played and I've made sure that I've mixed green, orange, and purple, I also want to experiment with waiting for paint to dry before I do anything like add textures or details so that I can show that the paint won't bleed, right? It says make a pattern, so I want to make sure I've practiced making a pattern. I'm then going to take all of those skills and everything it lists here and D, all of those skills, and I'm going to use that to make my mini piece of art. where I'm planning it first in pencil. I'm using light colors all the way to dark. I'm making sure I have secondary colors. I've added texture and I've used the crayon to add more details. Happy art making, and this is your last step until you're ready to move into tempera paint. Happy painting. Bye.